Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TRI's Crypto Countdown. That's what it says on the screen. I know we do have another title, TRI's Top 100 Crypto Review. Something like that. Anyway, super fun. Totally schizophrenic. This is TRI's weekly
Hello,
crypto
everyone.
show.
Hey,
And
look at
welcome back to... we're live on YouTube. Awesome. Hey, look at that. There's 3 people over there on YouTube. Right on. We're going to be selling lots of Tide laundry detergent tonight. Guess I should probably put things like the YouTube link in actually the TRI Lounge. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Should we let TRI people participate in this tonight? What do you think? What a doofus. There we go. And we are live. So I'm sure that probably took a few people by surprise. But anyway, welcome back to Frivolity. It is Wednesday, and I kind of like to do this show because now Sjord of course has this killer engine up and running now, and we're just getting tons of information. In fact, like we took time in the daily video today to look at the Dow stocks and ETFs. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful the job Stuart's done. But one thing I'm actually finding lack of time to do is specifically talk crypto because there's just so much to talk about in the market. So I love these Wednesday classes. Well, I guess we'll call it a class. What do you think, boys? Are you my students or am I the student? Who's the teacher here? I don't know. Anyway. These Wednesday shows. Hey, there we are. Oh, Derek's the teacher. Actually,
No, I said you the man.
oh, you're a sweetheart. Derek actually is just going to be finishing up the level 3. He's going to be a veteran. He's going to be a OGer on the TRI site. So pretty stoked for that. So can't wait for you to get your veteran tag. But anyway, welcome to the Frivolity, gentlemen. Kind of a weird intro. Of course, I don't think Brian... this is like episode 24, and I still haven't really got the intros right. So my apologies all. There's nobody on YouTube. Oh, that's great. So it's just really the 4 of us chatting. That's so awesome. Hey, let's have fun. What I love about listening to you guys is I really learn a lot about the space and your favorite stories and how those stories are evolving. And hopefully you guys are enjoying my silly banter and antics. I think after a while, we'll probably have a few people pop in. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll just be just a private session with the 4 of us tonight. Who knows? We'll have this fun little sort of what the hell's Bitcoin going to do? And frankly speaking, I don't think anybody's really been right more than 2 or 3 times on our predictions. But fun to check in. Actually, I haven't even really done the intros and the hellos. So maybe I should... back up here a little bit. Why don't we do some hellos? We'll go from top to bottom. Coming in from the great state of Minnesota, from the Airbnb, and it looks like he's reporting in from the hall closet. Nick, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm good, even in the dark.
And it's just because you have the light, it's turned a certain way or something, right? Anyway. So, how's Minnesota treating you these days?
It's good. It's
Are you
cold
happy
yesterday.
to be? Are you happy to be back in state?
I am. The wife was not happy that it was 0 Fahrenheit yesterday, but
0 Fahrenheit. Yeah, boom. There you go.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
I'm used to it, so it's fine.
Yeah. Actually, in New Mexico, you were up in the mountains there, so you must have gotten pretty chilly there too, as well, eh?
Yeah, it'd be in like the teens usually overnight in the winter. It'd get up to like the mid 30s during the day.
Oh, all right. Has it started to snow in in Minnesota yet? Well, I guess it's 0 degrees, duh. But do you get a lot of snow there, or is it just bitter, like Great Plains, kind of dry, cold?
We definitely get a good amount of snow. Like there's some seasons we'll just get an astronomical amount, but like, I mean, it's probably snowed since I've been here the last 2 weeks. It's snowed, I don't know, maybe half a foot or so.
Ooh, boom.
I mean, not all at once, but
All right. All right. Well, welcome on board. Of course, we'll have a great conversation. You're keeping close eyes. What's your favorite one? I want to say Cosmo. I want to say Polygon. What else do I want to say? Those are the two that come to mind when are they the same thing? They're probably the same thing, aren't they?
No, they're very different.
Oh, okay, good. So those are your two favorites. I did notice that time kind of came back down to earth a little bit. So,
yeah, I mean it's paying 80,000%. So
hey, Andrew and Shane got us in that. And now we have a free position, and it's spitting out those crazy APRs just like you said. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. All right, moving on. Actually, I think he just he's either just reported in from a heist or he's getting ready to get on a fishing trawler. I'm not quite sure. Ben, coming in from the great state of Florida, still from the great state of Florida.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Still here.
So,
Looks
are
like
you
it's
just
gonna
up
be
the way
like
from Mar-a-Lago and all that, or are you on the other end of the state?
It's about 4 hours south of me, but I'm right at the top.
4 hour. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Anyway, good evening, sir. How goes things in the great state of Florida?
Yeah, things are going great. All the leaves dropped today, so
Yeah, I heard you
So
say
that's
that. So that's a pretty big event. Does that usually happen sort of early December?
yeah, I think so. Around about this time.
Yeah. The citrus
I
crop.
haven't been here that long. I don't really know, but we'll
Oh,
see.
sorry. You said you haven't lived there that long?
Nah, just a few years.
Oh. And do you mind if we ask where you came from before?
The opposite side of the world, from Western Australia.
Well, boo, hello. Wow, that is a change. So I guess, yeah, I can hear an accent, so I suppose that makes sense. That's interesting. So when you were growing up, did you always dream that you were going to live in the great state of Florida?
Absolutely not. No, it's not on my radar.
Yeah, what was her name?
That's it, yeah.
Usually that's how it goes. All right,
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay, so we're getting to know my co-hosts there a little bit more with each passing episode. And coming up, as I said there to start the broadcast off, super proud of Derek. You got to bring it home now. I want to see a nice, big, powerful close on the exam here for my level 3 student. Soon to be site OG, soon to be TRI vet. Derek, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. It was speaking of snow, we finally had a couple days of 30-degree temperatures, and we had some snow flurries. And my kids wanted to wear boots to school and all that stuff. It was pretty funny, but yeah. So we're starting to get a little.
So it's like it was almost like it was a snow day to them.
Not really, just some flurries,
Yeah,
barely
that's cute.
barely visible.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
But yeah, it'll
I guess
be,
it does. It probably doesn't snow there that much, eh?
Not really. We might get once a year. We might get 6-7 inches, maybe. You know, it'll snow a couple times like that, maybe.
Yeah,
If we're lucky. So.
well, that's cool. So geez, you know, it's getting old now, so I don't even think about it too much myself. And now my son's all grown up, so he doesn't really mention it too much. But do you sort of go into Christmas mode now? Are you officially into Christmas mode with the kids, or?
Yeah, we were kind of in Christmas mode halfway through Thanksgiving. So that week we put up the tree and all that stuff. So we're pretty much there.
Fair enough. Ben, do you have little ones? I think.
Yeah, I have one baby girl.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, she's almost 2 now, so
So she's not quite programmed yet. And I don't think, Nick, you don't have any kids, do you?
no kids. My brother's having one probably in the next month though.
Oh, there you
his,
go,
his,
Christmas.
his wife is, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair
Makes
enough.
sense.
All right, so great to hear from our team. I gotta say, our team's done pretty darn well. Hanging in here just week in, week out. We've been getting together for almost about a half a year, right? So who deserves the accolades this week? We're flirting up there in that 57,000 area. Is that where we are now? About 50 grand right now?
yep, I put that price in for like right at the top of the hour.
Yeah. It's interesting how nobody was looking for, and how do we define faceplant? Because I gotta admit, prices come off a big chunk here. It's interesting how I did for quite a while put like tweets out and stuff like big fat round numbers should be traded to, and lo and behold, here we are. I don't know. You guys remember me going on about that recently?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Well, at least hopefully I'm consistent. So it looks like Brian and Nick kicked butt. Way to go, Brian and Nick. And of course, Nick is really a stealth bear. He would he firmly believes that what your prognostications are backwards. And I guess you were kind of hoping for a really big bull market. How did you said you were like hedging yourself or something, right?
Well, I mean, not literally hedging. My way of hedging was just predicting a negative number, which doesn't do as well as actually hedging.
Yeah. And it turns out you're right. Oh no. So ironically enough, I think if we had like a competition, ironically enough, it looks like Nick actually is the winner. Because we're substantially down. So go figure.
Well, we'll wait till predictions this week. See what's coming.
Oh, there you go. All right. So we're here with bated breath. Hey, there's a couple people over on YouTube. Fucking A. Hey, guys. We got Adam's there. Hey, Adam. And Tito. Do we know who Tito is? All right. Well, anyway, welcome, Tito. What do we feel like doing tonight? Do we want to maybe go look at some of these old stories? I don't know. How do you want to approach this tonight, guys? What do you feel like doing?
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Or I know there were some CEOs on at Congress today. That was kind of I only got to check the first 30 minutes or so, but that was the narrative seemed like it was more about regulating in the right way and people scared of the flight of money and that type of thing leaving the U.S. if they don't do the right type of regulations. And of course they let the CEOs talk first, so it was basically a commercial for each one.
Yeah.
Like Coinbase and Paxos and who else was there? Stellar Lumen.
Yeah, I did find that interesting that there was a representative from that Stellar Lumens. Because I guess that's IBM. Isn't that IBM?
Oh yeah. Well, I think they have some sort of connection.
I always seem to connect those two.
Yeah, there was some sort of connection there where I think you can use Stellar on their platform or something like that. So. Yeah.
Let's see what Sjord and his breadth machine says about crypto right now. I think, interestingly enough, it seems that crypto was trying to turn back up. Yeah, I mean now this is the crypto top 30, so it's just that group. But it might be interesting to look at what the crypto universe looks like. Let's see, there's Binance. Let's go take a look at what Binance says. Whoop, that's just a mess. That didn't work. Anyway, I was just wondering if we were going to get sort of a breadth reading of the market. And also, too, probably the way Coinbase's stock ended the day is probably going to be pretty helpful to tell us how the market sort of perceived how this went. Let's see, where can I do that? Got so many charts. It's kind of funny looking at your. Looks like that spell is now on TradingView now.
Yeah, it's on Coinbase as well.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
So it's really interesting. In fact, Derek, you were in class today?
No, today's an off day for me. Or a bad day. When I say off, I mean like I was super busy and I couldn't. Yeah, I missed class.
We had an interesting conversation about this setup here. I think it's a pretty interesting setup. It looks like it played itself out. The only problem is now what? I mean, is that a big honking Head and Shoulders? Yeah, hope not. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What were we talking about a moment ago?
Coinbase's price.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see how the market sort of perceived this. Coinbase? Yeah, I think that's it. So, what do you think? Did the market like what it heard? Almost looks like it was a sell the rumor, buy the news? Is it a 2-day event or is it just 1-day event?
I think it was just today.
Yeah, they were there for like half the day though. I think the session was about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it was long.
Yeah.
Nick made a funny joke. The representative from California, that guy is such a character. What was the reference that he made?
Oh, he was like, well, the biggest
Hamster
danger
coin?
to crypto is crypto itself. You have Bitcoin, but then Ether will come and take that, and then he
And then he even
actually-
said he goes. He even mispronounced Doge too. Like
yes, he did. It was I can't even remember how he
Yeah.
pronounced it. Then Doge would get eaten by hamster. Cobra would come in and eat Dogecoin, and then the mongoose coin. I mean, who even knows how much danger does the mongoose coin? And then he screwed it up and said crypto coin at the end. But
Yeah.
it was so bad, and I want to like post that everywhere and just be like, don't be like this guy.
I don't know that. I mean, it looks like Coinbase just backed up into a buying window, and literally, it's almost like that was probably the event right there, right? Like 6:30. The only question is how long ago was that? So, maybe buy the rumor, sell the news. I am long a bunch of this. I bought a whack of this down in here. It never got to a double point. This is half the reason why I don't like buying these really big stocks. It takes a hell of a rally for them to double. You know me, banging out doubles. So if I can't get 100% return realistically on an idea, it's almost like, well, why bother? Anyway, there it is again. Now the interesting thing about this was actually in the I can't remember. I think it was in class today. This is kind of it's an interesting sort of conundrum from the IPO perspective, because usually the rule is that these things, they come out and they're usually valued at about 50% of the IPO price. So if you think this thing come out at 380, then really what that means is this thing is really worth like 190, sort of down in that area. It was fascinating how through the summer they brought the market down here, and they just couldn't get it down into these. Now I wonder, now is this an A, B, C, D? Maybe we come down into here and finish that off. That's what should happen, And I don't know whether it's weird. I could have sworn I saw you connect to the class today, Derek. Didn't you come late? I swear I thought I saw you connect.
Don't make me feel bad. I hate missing things. I wasn't there.
Oh, isn't that weird? Anyway, the only reason why I mention it is because we talked about Facebook. Do you remember when we talked about this? But you weren't there, so I guess not. But this is a really good example of that principle where they brought the stock out, and everybody on the street knew that it was twice the price of what it should have been. It was kind of embarrassing when they brought it out, because everybody this is criminal what you're doing. And sure enough, there's the IPO price at about 42, and they had to bring it back down to 21. Knock it in half. So there was another name, I can't remember what it was, in crypto that was doing this today, and we were kind of musing about this in class. So anyway, it's I've been sort of watching, and I'd like to buy more of this Coinbase, so I do have another order working down here just below, sort of give me a nice FU down in here. Because I still think that this thing needs to go back down to that 190. But anyway, interesting that testimony today or whatever it was, and how that almost looks like a dead cat bounce. There's no real buy signal there other than it did back up into market structure. Maybe if that W's out, we stop going down. I don't know.
I have a really weird gap question. So there's the gap that's on September maybe 4th.
There's tons of gaps all over this thing, eh? September 4th, so that is right there.
Right, yeah, that next candle there after the red one, that
yeah.
gap. Is that still unfilled?
No, it was filled in here.
But so if it gaps through it, it's still considered filled?
Well, this is actually what they call an island now.
So it's an island bottom.
So this is kind of different because it's not exactly an island. This is pretty clean. But if this was like, say, all this was below all this, kind of like down here, right? On the date, like this date right here, you could say this was an island gap. Down. And then back up. But it quickly filled it right in. So it's not really that big of one. But, same sort of thing. This one, island gap, would be there, and there, and there, and there. So then it's an island, except for the fact that this stuff all should have been higher than that level. It's not really an island, but the general premise is that whatever the price action was here, which caused the market to gap lower, the fact that it gapped higher off of the same level means that it's reversed this. And this should be a key support level. So boom, here we are coming back in. But by it filling in this gap now, that takes away all this islandness, and now it's just regular, normal price action.
So if there is a gap, but it continues in that same direction, you do still consider it filled? Because you can get a horizontal line straight through all three of those gaps there.
Say that one more time.
So that gap on September, both of the island gaps that you have highlighted.
Yeah.
And then from like 3 days ago, it actually gapped again at that same exact mark.
You mean over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, the market's trying to speak to you. When I see this, and I see this like in futures trading, this happens all the time. Is the market will break higher, and then this I would say is a very typical sort of Benkoff check, reload zone check. Really, I might even take that right off the bottom there. And really, the fact that the market left these gaps here, it was basically saying, I'm not totally sure about this. At some point, I'm going to have to come back and check this level. Sure enough, they did it again, and this gap is definitely wide open. So the market has said here, I'm not totally sure about this. At some point, I'm going to have to come back and check this level. Yeah. And that's the thing about venture cap stocks, right? Whenever they gap higher, you can't really believe it because 9 times out of 10, they have to come all the way right back down and fill in the gap, and it's so painful. But it almost always has to happen. I used to have a guy that I worked with, Jack Zion, and he used to always, first thing he would do is he would take the chart. This is where he used to get charts in the mail, right? And he'd take the chart right up and close to his eyes because he wanted to make sure. And he would literally look through the whole damn chart, all this right up really close to his eyes, looking for gaps. And if he didn't see any gaps and it was all clean, he'd be like, all right, there's a half decent idea. And 9 times out of 10, these damn things have gaps in it. And just like this, they got to come right back down and fill them in. Good old Jack. I should give a call. Jack lives locally. I should give him a call and see if we can bring him on the Daily Brief one day. He's the guy who taught me half of the expressions that you guys all love. Like up and down like a horse drawers. That's one of his. Anyway. Okay, so according to this stock, I mean, I don't know whether I really have any buy signals or anything, but they did back it up into a reload zone. And I have to agree with you. Listening to that presentation today, I did not get the impression of a state of hostility. The tone, other than I think, and I can't remember what his name is, but Crypto kind of humiliated that guy, the California representative guy. He used to actually be the chairman of one of these committees. And actually, I even remember we put tweets and stuff out when he was chairman, and he tried to attack crypto before, and crypto just tore him apart. Like he's been caught in fraudulent scandals and cheating on his wife and tax evasion, the whole damn thing. And that's the thing with crypto, right? Is you can't hide anything from people who know how to mine the internet. That's just a potion for disaster. Going to war with them. And at one point, he was even like, stop, please stop. He actually, he sued for peace. So I think he was definitely humbled by crypto, no doubt about it. So, yeah, Nick was saying earlier, I don't know whether we were recording or not, but he was, Mongoose coin. That's sort of his kind of backhanded way to get back at crypto. Because I swear, if he does what he did before crypto, I'll throw him a new asshole again. Remind him, that guy is like really corrupt. He has like corruption charges, the whole fucking thing, So that's why he learned a lesson the hard way. Anyway, I got the impression that it was actually a pretty friendly endeavor, and that. Still think that the biggest thing that I heard from all these guys is they want to somehow, I think Maxine Waters, she just hates Zuckerberg and Facebook. I got that impression. I don't know whether you heard that from her, but all I heard from her was just a hatred towards Zuckerberg and Facebook. And Libra, I guess it is. But other than that, one person that I didn't, and maybe you guys know her. Who's the girl with the purple hair? What's her name? She was the crypto spokeswoman for about 2 or 3 of these congressional hearings. I want to say Bladette, something like that. Bladette, something like that. Yeah, Sherman. Great Del Moody, you know him. Sherman, that guy was so funny, eh? But anyway, what I found was interesting, and I mentioned this to somebody else, or maybe it was in the Daily Brief today, that it felt like crypto sort of hijacked one of the insiders of Washington with this. What's his name again? What was that guy's name?
Brooks.
Brian
Brooks.
Brian Brooks. Well, at least he's got a good name. BB. I think there's people that gone places in this world with the initials BB, BPB. Interesting. Anyway, I got the impression just listening to this guy, and did you not get the impression too? He's kind of like, hey Bob, how's it going? How are the wife and kids? That kind of thing. He just
very chummy.
Yeah, he knows how to play the Washington Schmaltz game, right? And I thought it was fascinating. Every single question was, that question excites me. I'm glad you asked me that question. That's the question I wanted you guys to ask, Like everything was all that. I mean, he just wrapped his arms around that event. That was Washington. That was him. And he just fucking owned that. That's the impression that I got from all that. I don't know.
And I think if you have that view, like I said, I only watched the first maybe 10 minutes. In that case, he set the tone because he was the first one to really speak.
Yeah.
When they announced the CEO, so that may have something to do with that feeling.
And so now I know who actually is behind Solana. I didn't know it was the guy that was behind FTX. That's the same guy, eh?
So he's not the owner or the founder of Solana by any means, but he is by far the most public famous person around that blockchain because FTX is built on Solana.
Yeah.
And so they usually have Sam go and talk whenever there's a need.
I thought so. How long has Solana been around?
I don't know. I want to say maybe it was before my time in crypto, but maybe like a year and a half, 2 years. That's just me swagging a guess. I don't really know.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how it works, but anyway. So yeah, that and I don't know what his name is. All due respect, Mr. FTX. He was swimming with the big boys today. I got the impression he was a young guy. He still had quite a bit of his natural hair on the top of his head. You can tell he's a young guy, and he was hanging out with the adults today.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
listen,
well, I think he's still in his 20s. I think he's 28 or 29. And he's worth like 20 or 25 billion dollars.
so there you go, eh? The only problem is that yeah, could be worth that, but one bad scandal and all this shit just evaporates instantly. It's a bit scary how these paper millionaires operate. Let's hope we never get into a stage where the evaporation happens. Like I remember through pets.com, same sort of thing. You get in a market where you have absolutely insane valuations, and then it's like the next day all of a sudden somebody just pulled the plug and it all just vanishes. So anyway, fingers crossed for him. I'm sure he's going to do perfectly fine.
I think he does have my favorite tweet ever though for crypto tweets. It was back in January and Solana was like, it was like 350 or $4 or something. And he said, and somebody was just fudding Solana like crazy. And he got sick of arguing with this guy. So he was just like, tell you what, sell me all the Solana you have at $4 and go F off. And I mean, Solana hit what, 250 a month ago or so, and it's still sitting around 200. So I feel like for now, at least Sam won that
Vindication.
I mean, if he's buying it from this dude at $4, he's like, it's going into the ground, and then pulls a 60x.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I suppose, a function of this crazy crypto cycle too. Crazy things can happen. I don't know. It's on, because this is venture capital and it's so cutting edge. You just don't know what the hell's going to happen. If anything, you just don't get into the business of calling tops because just the craziest stuff will happen here. So I was able to ride Sjord's coattails. Everybody should have a Sjord in their lives. I tell you, it's handy. And he got us into this crazy Luna. And frankly speaking, I don't know where the hell the top is. What's really interesting is what I heard today from these bureaucrats talking. I didn't hear any of them even acknowledge DeFi. They're so wrapped up in stablecoin. They're just obsessed with this damn stablecoin shit. And what else did I hear that was a big bugaboo? KYC of the centralized exchanges. And sort of reining in the central... I guess FTX is technically a centralized exchange?
Yep. It absolutely is.
Yeah, so I guess, half of the reason why he was there is he wants to play ball with them. But I didn't hear any reference at all to DeFi. Right? I didn't hear any... Like, you would know that there's a problem with DeFi if they were sitting there all going, the biggest problem that we have here is we have to worry about these unregulated DeFi kids and them taking over the world.
Well, I think the issue is they're so far behind the ball that they need to just start with centralized exchanges.
That's right.
Understand them, figure them out.
Yeah.
Then in a year, 2 years, sometime they can dive deeper, but
totally.
It's going to take a while.
No, I would say this DeFi will come up the next cycle peak.
It almost feels like they're almost addressing it a little bit though, because stable coins are kind of a central part of DeFi. So if they can sort of define maybe what that looks like.
Yeah, what I heard was USDC. So that's all around like what is that? That's Circle, and that's really Goldman Sachs.
Coinbase's coin. Yeah.
So there's that. I think that's a huge player, and of course I think I just get the feeling that they all have a collective hate on for Tether. One thing, Mr. Sherman, he was like, "Hey, Tether didn't even show up." I don't know if you heard that. So I'm telling you, I have a funny feeling what's going to happen is they're all going to have a fucking collective hate on Tether. Tether is going to become sort of like this mutual, agreed upon, hated collective enemy. I'm telling you, I think that's how this is going to play out. But the point that I would make is that I didn't hear anybody make reference to Danny. I didn't hear anybody make reference to Doe. I didn't hear anybody make reference to Fjord. So I think we're fucking good to go. I don't know, man. I gotta say, like, Fjord, you know, when you watched his presentations on the Luna Network and using the platform and stuff on the site, eh, Nick?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, would you think that he's pretty knowledgeable in that Luna space?
Yeah, and that's one thing I think he's done really well that I think a lot of people should do is they should find a niche that they really like and that really excites them and just get as deep as you can into it, because he's gotten really deep into a lot of the different protocols coming out and a bunch of airdrops and the NFTs and everything just inside of Terra itself.
Yeah.
And so I think he's done a really good service to himself doing that.
Yeah, and me too. Thanks, Fjord. Love you, babe. How's that Hedera network treating you here, Derek? They done anything to get you all excited here of late?
No, not really. No.
Right.
I mean, for me, I kind of look at it as a little bit of a longer play, I guess. I mean, it's not. They have just as, you know, trying to do DeFi just like everybody else is doing it. I mean, but I mean, they're more business and corporate focused, I guess. So it's not, even though it could be, you know, decentralized. There's a lot of, I guess corporations like for instance, like ServiceNow, I guess is one of the largest sort of back office providers, I guess, in the world is using Hedera. So they've, you know, so places like that. So I mean, looking at
Hedera Hashgraph.
Yeah, Hashgraph. Yeah. Yep.
Remember we did hear the Lumens was at that congressional hearing, so a little bit of corporate kind of is that different kind of corporate kind of use of cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I mean they've kind of talked about I think MoneyGram. They have some sort of partnership with MoneyGram or something like that.
Yeah, I heard them talk a lot about that today.
Yes, I mean that's what I heard in the first couple of minutes them talking about. But
yeah,
so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have been looking at DeFi in terms of like, I mean, even like Luna, like finding an ecosystem to sort of, you know, learn a lot more about, because I do think that, you know, we're still super early, and it's, if you can find one that's going to be around, then it's presents a lot of opportunities. I mean, just to, especially if you can jump in and ride a train and get involved before, like you just said, like the next cycle when they're probably going to start attacking. So.
Yeah, well, and like I said, I don't think that this wave is done by a long shot. What I heard today was a lot of these sort of base networks in play, and now we're probably going to go through the phase. I remember in 16, 17, we went through a phase there where ICOs were just raising just insane amounts of money. And that was the beginning of 2018. And unfortunately, you know, by the end of 2018, they had to actually start saying what they actually used the money for. And unfortunately, a lot of them just, do you remember they actually did their raises like ICOs in Ethereum? So they raised like 20, 40, 50 million dollars. But then the price of Ethereum collapsed. And so they ended up like just not doing anything. They lost like half, 3/4 of that money raised. So they was almost like doomed from the get-go. So I wonder if we have to go through one of those phases. And I think the term now is IDO, isn't it? Or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you got initial DEX offering, but now it's also initial Discord offerings.
Discord offering? Hey, I got a buddy on Discord. Did you see my buddy? I got the Prince of Nigeria wants us all to go to his the Rational Investors Discord channel and give him all our money.
Yeah, Discord is one of those places where like you just get these random messages and stuff like that. But if you want to participate, like in even some of the channels, it's almost like you have to let people DM you, but then if you let people DM you, you start getting a bunch of spam, right? So it's like it's kind of tough on there too. Like Discord is not my favorite thing to use, but
yeah, well, I tried to get in touch with the Prince of Nigeria today. A few TRIers did. They said they had a lot of fun with him. The poor prince. I don't think he got any money out of us, but it was a lot of fun. All right. And do you have a? Well, I guess we didn't really talk. So we gave Derek a moment to pitch his story. I don't know. Should we go by? Or maybe we should do maybe like a thumbs up, thumbs down over on YouTube. So are we gonna go by Hedera? You got to give me a story. What are they doing? I want to know what they're doing. Give me some sort of reason to get me excited. Nothing. Just drinking water. All right. Ben, you got a DeFi name that you like?
I got a question. I wanted to throw out to you guys. I don't know if any of you know, is there like a DeFi like protocol where you can, that is like an on and off ramp to fiat currency? Because I feel like all of the exchanges are a way to get your fiat into crypto, and then if you want to get out, it's kind of sewn up with, as far as like Congress having like regulation that way. And then if you're going to go play in DeFi, if you ever want to get back into fiat, as long as they have all of those sewn up, they might be happy. But is there a place where you can actually go on and off through DeFi? Because that would be a problem, I think. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, there are some, but everyone that I've seen has been blocked off to U.S. residents. It won't let us participate.
Okay.
But other countries have, yes, fiat on-ramps, et cetera, to DeFi.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So if I'm sitting here and I just got paid and I want to go and buy some DeFi, what I'm hearing from you guys is, isn't there like a Bitcoin ATMs? Can you actually go buy Bitcoin at those ATMs if you just have cash?
I have seen them here. Yes.
You can go and buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've never done, so I don't know what the process is.
And then if you went and bought the Bitcoin, can you put it on like a cold storage wallet or something at the place where you buy the Bitcoin from the ATM?
That's a good question. It's funny because I'm like Ben here. I saw a Bitcoin ATM. I looked at it and I didn't even think to use it because I don't know. I felt like, I don't know, I can buy crypto another way, right? So, but I do want to make a point to go to one and see. Now that you said that,
just to see if you could do it, eh?
With how paranoid I am about keeping my crypto safe, I would never use a Bitcoin ATM in my life, ever.
Fascinating.
Come back in 5 years, I'm sure I'll be using them every day. But
I remember when I went down to LA, we visited a place down in Long Beach, and they had a Bitcoin ATM in there. And none of our group used it. It's just funny. I mean, I think everybody went, looked at it. It was so funny because the little couple that were running the crypto store, you could see that they so wanted to be like, have crypto work and stuff. But they actually got super excited about Bitcoin Cash or Bcash, Roger Ver's Bitcoin. And they didn't even know the backstory of Roger Ver and how that all played out. Just so fascinating. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Ben, you dodged the question. What's your DeFi coin du jour? I think everybody's got to have a DeFi name. There's that Farmer Dave. He's typing in the lounge here today. It'd be cool to see what DeFi name he's interested in right now. That would be kind of cool. But anyway, Ben, I'm not going to let you off the hook here. You got a name that I'm going to keep an eye on that's your favorite?
I mean, I don't. I've been kind of I had a lot of preconceived ideas of what DeFi is, kind of coming out of the last thing. So actually, these last few weeks, I've been getting my mind blown. Kind of taking a dive after Nick asked me a question that I just didn't understand the words coming out of his mouth. And so So the whole narrative of the Olympus DAO forks has really captured my attention. I think it went through like a thing where it went a bit crazy, and there was projects coming out like literally called Rugged.
Olympus?
There was like just
Yeah,
a
it's
whole ton of different
OHM.
OHM?
Yeah, this is what Time is actually a fork of this.
Oh, okay. Olympus DAI stablecoin? Or do
Yeah,
you look at it versus Ether?
I'd do it versus DAI. That'll be
okay.
dollars.
On Sushi Swap. Oh, so Sushi Swap, isn't that the centralized exchange?
It is definitely a decentralized exchange. It does play on Binance, but it plays on ETH and Polygon and Avalanche and plenty of other blockchains as well.
All right. So what's the sales pitch here, Ben? Why do I want to load up on this thing?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there was a bit of froth, but like as in this thing got forked. I don't know how many times in the last few months, but
well, this is a family show, so let's try and keep this clean.
So on all the different products, so I guess Wonderland on Avalanche, and then on Phantom, Solana.
So what happens to this thing's value when it gets forked? Was it forked because it's just so awesome?
I think that's the deal. Yeah, it was so revolutionary, kind of like DeFi 3.0, I guess they're calling it.
Yeah. So the congressmen in the States are using that term, Web 3.0, to describe sort of the tokenization and the taking back of the sort of personal information sort of part of the interneting, which I think is really cool. But is that DeFi? Or is that not even really DeFi? That's something completely different.
No, it's related. I mean, any one of these protocols that has a front end, to me, that would be considered Web 3.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like the idea of like peer-to-peer transactions, that type of thing, kind of removing the middleman, right?
Well, I do like how they were just shitting on Google. Thought it was funny, and you see my Twitter feed; it's incredible. They're shitting on Google, calling it like Web 2.0 and legacy, and that was yesterday. And now with tokenization, you're gonna own your own data, and you're gonna have your own permissions and stuff, and that's 3.0. And then instantly the feed went out. Google dropped the feed like instantly, and I'm like, oh no, that isn't a coincidence now, is it? I thought that was so funny, but I get the impression that because somebody else also had another feed that CNBC had going, and they posted that. So I don't know why that other feed died, but it just seems so serendipitous.
Yeah, I mean, my perception or thoughts about DeFi is that essentially, like, I don't really have a favorite DeFi coin, right, or anything like that. But I guess I have networks like I use, like, since Nick mentioned it, I kind of started looking at Atom and Cosmos and using that osmosis and having coins on there that actually I can stake and provide liquidity. So that that's my perception of DeFi. That's how I use DeFi in terms of having coins or projects that I like that I have, and I stake them for a percentage return or whatever. Like that's and then there's like another step you can take, which is like borrowing against it. But I mean that's a lot more risky, and for me,
yeah, Fjord talks about all that.
Yeah, that's like taking it to the next level, which I'm not really willing to do, just because at the moment, like, I have a hard time with attention and time, right? So I feel like my time, I have other things that I would like to be doing besides like watching. That almost gets you back to like watching charts. If you're not, or maybe if like day trading type thing, like you need to watch like what's going on at all times and kind of know where your liquidity is and like what your loan to value is and all this stuff. So you got to really pay attention to it. And that's not in my plan.
And you don't have to do that.
Yeah, so that's you don't have to do that, but that's
It's
like the
cool that
next
you
level.
have that opportunity, but you don't have to.
Right, right. So I've kind of limited it to finding projects I like having, and a lot of the ones I found that I already have, some coins or whatever, some tokens. So why not put them in somewhere where they can sort of earn some interest or whatever. So that's
Totally.
kind of
Yeah. I get and then what I thought was really interesting was, Luna in particular, that the project where you could actually put bids in and you only want those bids to get filled on liquidation events, i.e., the market's collapsing and people are actually getting forced liquidated, and you're willing to go and buy those coins. I thought that was pretty darn impressive, because what that will literally do is it will remove the propensity for markets to crash, because there's going to be people there waiting for that crash. Because he was saying that like the price of Luna got down as low. I mean, like, it's impressive. The price of Luna got down as low as that's not what I want. Got as low as
like 30 something buck, 35 or 38 or something, didn't it?
Is that what it was? Hold on a second.
Thought on some extent maybe KuCoin it got pretty low.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was on KuCoin. But here, like on that particular day, we got as low as 49. And he was even saying that people that did that were getting fills at 42. So it's like, wow, they were just getting absolute discount fills. So, the word's going to get out. Well, actually, you want the market to crash, because if it does crash, then you get these fills at like, what is that? That's $7 below what this low was. So, I think there were other markets that went lower. But still, that's almost like what, a 20% discount to what the market is. You could instantly just sell it for a nice 20% gain. I mean, it's quite remarkable. Anyway, all right. So, what was the answer there? Why the hell do I want to buy this damn thing, Ben? Is there a catalyst coming up here? What the hell is going on here?
Well, I mean, I would say there's nothing technically about that chart that says it's a buy.
Is it this thing here?
It's more of it's an experiment that I've got my eye on that I find really interesting.
Yeah. So actually, because technically it's coming down into a relatively attractive area. This is the only business when stuff goes on sale nobody wants to buy, right? So it doesn't surprise me that you got a little sort of defensive there when I was like, oh, why the hell do I want to buy this, right? Get off my back. But really, probably now is when you really want to focus on what the hell these guys are doing in the future. Anyway, interesting. All right, so we got Hedera, but man, not much is going on. We got what does that say? OHAM versus DAI, and I guess DAI, that's sort of like stable currency. That's kind of like saying versus dollar. Is that the same thing?
It's a USDC DAI is very similar to like MIM.
Okay.
And so it's just a decentralized stablecoin.
Right. So point being, not a bad trade location. Probably no signs of divergence just yet, but maybe it's building. Oh yeah, it's building. So any kind of rally up into here will probably fire that divergence and then start hunting W's, and you probably have a half decent little idea. Willie is stupid now. RSI is even oversold. So you're not walking into a trap there, so that's good. You know how much I love 78.6 is. So maybe throw your bid in there at 421, 422, and let's see if we can get lucky. All right, Nick. What the hell's you're probably like that Polygon, right? Isn't that your name?
I mean, I don't own any, and I'm a little salty about it, but it's doing well right now. Matic is.
Matic. Oh yeah, and actually, I think we saw that
with a C. Yeah.
It came up on Sjord's screeners. Yeah, he's pretty happy about this thing right now. So there you go. Wow, that thing's got so interesting. I did sort of a matrix today. I don't know whether you guys saw that. It's not very crypto, but I am looking for crypto names that would fit in with this matrix. I know everybody, oh my God, bright screen, you're going to burn my eyes out. But here's my matrix right now. And actually, this, you notice, there's a bit of a reoccurring theme here, right? So now, I think we could probably add something like this Matic to that. It's not a bad looking. I've been thinking about what kind of cryptocurrency would fit in with this. So,
Yeah, Polygon just had some news, I think, or something about maybe
Oh.
a VC or something. Maybe a VC came in or had to start a fund or something like that. Or...
So they do have a conference coming up, I think, and they
Yes.
did a couple weeks ago, or maybe it's a month ago now. They said that they were pivoting to be a ZK rollup for Ethereum, which
what?
is a different. It's a layer 2 solution for Ethereum. It's going to help it scale, and they're pivoting to one that is thought to be more technically superior than the other types of layer 2s.
Wow.
I don't know if that's actually happening. That's just the rumor going on. But there's also a lot of gaming projects that are being built on Polygon, and I'm really bullish over the next 5 years for crypto gaming. So if that does happen, I could see Matic continuing to do well.
Well, I mean, what a great example of just working a bid right at the breakout level. And you probably on this day be like, oh, it's down a huge chunk. Did I really want to buy it? Oh, yeah, looks like that worked out. So, great example of working orders at bids. And actually, we had such a great example in our class today of Daniele was showing us how institutional players literally walk their bids up the ladder. They will not market buy. Thou shalt not market buy. And we were going through. Let's see if I can show you. It was a really good presentation.
Is that white MA or that white moving average? Is that the 200?
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah.
It just seems like that's been a really good support for it this year.
Yeah. Excuse me. It's interesting how the 200 period moving average acts differently in crypto versus the stock market. But maybe just give me a second here. See if I can find it. Where are you, Daniele? It was such a cool little slideshow. I know you're in here somewhere. There it is. So this is I don't know how to do this. Yeah, okay, there we go. This is such a good example of how institutional players, they will not change their orders and they won't market buy. They'll just work their bids, and you can see as the market's working its way up, all of these buy orders are all getting pulled as the market comes closer. These are all sell orders. And they get pulled as the market gets closer and closer and closer. But these are all the institutional players trying to buy, and they just keep moving their bids up, but they will not market buy. They're not going to hit the damn offer, because that's what the public does. They'll just keep slowly working their bids higher and higher and higher and higher on the DOM. There's such a good example of that today. Why the hell did I mention that? Something happened here. I guess that's sort of like this, where you're not going to market offer. You can see that guys, the institutional people that do want to participate in this, they'll just keep working their bids, and the slams down into the moving averages, that's what actually gives them their fills. So it's hard to do, but it's a really good lesson that the public market buys. Institutions do not market buy, and here's a really good example of why you do not market buy and just chase this up. You work your bid, and sure enough, these slams down the moving averages give you your fills. So anyway, fun. Okay, so Nick says buy Matic, loves games.
I did not say buy Matic.
not gonna sneak that by him, eh? No, it's not. I mean, I'll say I'll buy Matic if you can get filled at $1.75. Doesn't look bad to me. So Brian said buy Matic. There you go. Merry Christmas. Ben says, what the hell's Ben want us to buy? He wants us to buy
Ohm.
Oh, that's right. Actually, I do like it. Interesting enough, of all three of these names, that OHM actually I think is in the best. I think you're gonna get your biggest bang for the buck on this OHM down here because you're buying value down in here, but that thing could still drift a little while longer.
The one thing that I think is going to be really interesting to see how these play out is OHM is another, since it's just like time where the APY is incredibly large.
Oh,
And
even
so-
better.
So it'll be
I
one
love
of those. Maybe. It depends because it's still yet to be seen if eventually they will think of it like the dollar right now. They debase the OHM currency enough to where it just can't rally. It can't get that buying demand. But it's something that we haven't really seen these much before, so it'll be interesting to see how the dynamics work out or play out.
What did you say that I said? Oh, I like that. You just said it a moment ago. What was it that was bullish
About the
this?
currency debasement?
Well, just before that. Anyway, I thought there was anyway. Oh yeah, the insane APY. So you have to compound that, right? And just keep reinvesting.
You don't need to do anything. It does it automatically.
Yeah. But what you're saying is, at the end of the year, there's going to be a bazillion, gazillion, jazillion, bazillions of these things, and you have no idea what the value of one of them is going to be.
Yeah, because I mean, with let's say with time, like you're getting about almost 2% return every day.
Yeah.
Just by holding like more coins, and so.
But Danny
that
guaranteed it was going to be up, right? Isn't that how this cryptocurrency shit works?
That's what he told us.
Yeah. So, what do we have to worry? All right.
Well,
anyway, I'm just having fun with you guys. Sorry. What's that, Ben? Sorry?
I think, is there a guaranteed floor at $1?
Yeah, you wonder, eh? Oh, well, it's $494. Maybe somebody says, yeah, I'll guarantee a floor at $1 there for you, Ben. I tell you what. You buy it at $4.94. I'll guarantee a $1 for you. I'll buy them off of you at $1.
So I do think Times, based off of the amount in Times Treasury, it would. I think the quote unquote guaranteed price is around $2,000 right now.
You have to do a whole bunch of funny math with this to get the current price quote, don't you?
You do. So do it at the beginning. Do a 1 divided by.
And then you have to do bracket, right? And I couldn't remember what was the other part that you had to add to this.
You want to divide by, divide by AVAX USD.
Well, I mean, one of the kind of.
Yep, and just pick any of those.
One of the things that's kind of interesting about I think it's Wonderland, because they had talked about almost creating a DAO out of it, where they were. I think that's what they were saying. Like Danny was talking about, creating a DAO basically and investing those funds in like gaming products and things like that, and sort of that would give. I mean, I think the way it was intended is that it's sort of like, I mean, a return essentially is a bigger return for those holders, right? So that could be interesting. Like that's an interesting take on that whole thing too. So,
yep, yeah, and right now they have, I think, they have a small handful of people that are kind of running it from a treasury standpoint, and they're shifting the treasury investments this way and that to try to grow the treasury and have it be as safe and stable as possible.
Probably your order should just be at this gap. Right there. Well, I mean, anyway, look at it. Looks like the initial burst has played itself out. Probably wait till W's come in before we start getting bullish again. It's interesting how this guy's kind of petered out, but that Luna keeps charging higher. So I don't know what the difference is. This is the Spell WETH. Is this another one of his? So this one was
Spell is Danny's.
Sorry?
Yep, Spell is the protocol that essentially creates MIM. That's the MIM is most closely tied with Spell.
All right. Anyway, Danny's gonna save us all. Woohoo! Would I buy some of this right here? Nah. I mean, you can see nice little bottom right there. There's where you should belong. Spoon feeding, sell halves on doubles, sell halves on triples, blah, blah, blah. A little inside bar reversal there. I didn't really like the look of this. I was actually telling people in the class, I think the breakout was there. And then this on like that 4-hour chart was a half decent little sort of L Tangonator. Willie was stupid. Bull div and MACD. Inside bar reversal. Away you go. But I think the trade's over now. So I'm not quite sure what you do at this point. Well, what the heck should we talk about? Should we go over and look into what these guys over on YouTube want us to look at? Let's see what they want us to look at.
I saw Great Del Moody made a comment about the Bitcoin ATMs. Just circling back, he said apparently you get KYC right on the spot, and the fees are astronomical. So anybody that wanted
you
to know
get
that
KYC'd right on the spot. Wow. Well, you gotta like maybe have like a driver's license, and they take a picture of it or something like that.
Yeah, maybe take your fingerprints.
Retina scan.
Wow, crazy. It's fascinating how this silly soap opera is playing itself out. Wonder how long of a boat ride would it be to go from Florida to where is that guy he's in? He's El Salvador. Is that where it is? Is that on the? I wonder if that's
where it's a currency.
Huh?
Where they take Bitcoin as a currency.
Yeah, like if I understand correctly, he wants to set up like a little sort of like shanty town kind of thing, like a Bitcoin sort of city or something.
Yeah, I do think you'd have to go through the Panama Canal because I'm pretty sure El Salvador is just on the Pacific side.
Oh, is it? So you couldn't even get there, right? I could probably go from. I could pick up like some cheap ass little boat here, and just row my way all the way down the Pacific Ocean, Pacific coast. Do you think I could get down to El Salvador? That'd be a
Please
long
don't
trip.
row a boat in the Pacific Ocean. That's my only advice.
What the hell? I used to live actually on a sailboat a million years ago. Arr, mateys, ever been to sea, Billy? Ever been to be silly? All right, what should we do next? Okay, what do we? So on YouTube, I guess you're keeping track of what these guys are talking about over there. I saw Brian tweeted about UST. Did I? If algorithmic stablecoins get perfected, then the regulators will have big problems. Yeah, I'd agree with you. It'd be interesting to see how these stablecoins. And I got the impression that attack last week was actually on an attack on stablecoins on the DeFi networks to see whether they could break them. Like I said, that Luna was all over the place. Somebody, B Bloom, has a request. What's the request? That'd be interesting to see. It looks like Telegram is resurrecting its ICO. Ah, interesting. Did you guys know that?
I did not.
That would make sense. It would be perfect for this part of the cycle. Somebody says, hey, Brian, could you please not quote Nigeria in scam-related issues? Well, I'm not technically quoting Nigeria. I'm quoting the Prince of Nigeria. That guy's a bastard, man. He's stolen so much money from me. And actually, what's funny is I actually went to a snooty boarding school back east in Canada. And one of my roommates in my junior year there, he was from Legolas. Legolas? Legolas? What's the
Lagos?
name? Lagos. Legolas. That's the name of the guy.
That's an elf.
Lord of the Rings, eh? That's close. Lagos. Yeah. And man, that place is fucking Wild West. That's dangerous place. So, okay. So, I gotta tell you, did you ever see the guy from the Dogecoin when they were doing the big shill there back in in March, April, May. God, that guy was incredible. Remember, he would go la 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 la. Did you guys ever see that Dogecoin feed? Oh, those guys were the biggest fucking crooks.
I've heard you talk about it many times, but I never saw it.
Yeah. Maybe not from Nigeria. I wonder why. Nigeria has a history of that. I don't think I'm going out on a limb quoting the Prince of Nigeria.
I think that's one of the original like email scams back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh god, there's
Like,
a long history. That's
I mean,
where almost all the scams come from. And
or
I
at
think the
least
reason
that's-
why I got pissed off was because the guy who I don't know whether you're aware, Elijah, but there's some guy who tried to basically impersonate me on Twitter, and he tried to redirect people to a Telegram group, and he actually even blatantly lied to people. Yes, I'm the rational investor. Look at me. I'm so fucking awesome. Send me money. And guess where he was from? So the only reason why I made Prince of Nigeria reference is because the guy's from Lagos. So he was busted. I'm going to call a spade. Sorry, buddy. If you want to downvote me. But the guy's from Nigeria. And so I'm going to make reference to Nigeria, whether you like it or not. What's Great Del Moody say? You can go on if you do a job where you get paid in crypto.
I think that was to Ben's question about are there DeFi on-ramps?
Yeah, you know, the irony of it all is like that's how I did my on-ramp to crypto. As I sold you guys back in 2014, 2015, we started up the website and we said we teach you guys how to trade in crypto, and everybody paid in crypto, and that's how we got our original Bitcoins. And then I took like one student's tuition and I put it into our little fund, and the rest is history. So, go figure. I wouldn't even know, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even know how to get like money from the real world into crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I've been basically using. I mean, even like one instance is like buy atoms, send it to osmosis, and kind of get in, and I can do some things from there. But
How do you buy the atom? Like, do you use
I have to go to Coinbase to buy that. So I have to use like a regular exchange. There are some ways where you can buy like something like if you have Trust Wallet. I have Trust Wallet on my phone. Like, you use something called MoonPay. I think it's called MoonPay, and basically you can use a credit card through that interface.
I know Trex. They so want me to use a credit card.
Yeah.
They're like salivating. Buy crypto with credit. It's like that's the worst fucking thing in the world you could possibly ever do.
Yeah. Well, when I say credit card, I mean check card or whatever, like Visa,
Yeah,
something that has a Visa
no,
logo.
not when you did it, Derek. It was perfectly fine when you did it. Sorry, I got to backtrack there. Sorry.
Well, I'm not. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say you used your credit.
That's just the financial
anyway,
planner in me talking. Remember, all you people on YouTube, you don't realize I used to be a full service financial planner. I used to do things like, okay, we'll sit down and how are we going to allocate pension funds? What are my registered retirement income fund minimum annual payments? How am I going to set up my stream? That's it. Believe it or not, that's the world that actually I came from. Anyway, all right, so farm, no structure, but look at location, momentum, and oversold on daily. Probably, that's probably a lot like that's that idea. Actually, I would even say just even time alone. The problem is I don't know where the hell this damn thing started from. But ironically enough, that time, gap fills, tails like to be eaten, bottom of the channel, reload zone. It's actually in a half decent location. Just give us some sort of.
It started pretty much at zero. I want to say it was around like $50.
Right. Okay. So there's clearly some missing data here.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, so what's the name that you're looking at? Farm. You guys have any comment on this farm? Boom. I don't even know what this is. That doesn't really look too compelling to me. Problem is, if they break these, and this is another thing. Where did this actually start from? This looks a little suspicious, so it just jumped out of nowhere here.
Looks like you might not have all the history there.
Could
Maybe
be.
try a different exchange, because it does look, at least on CoinGecko that I'm looking at, what I don't use for charting, but it was
Coinbase? Where
much
are we
lower earlier this year. Man, I don't. Maybe try like one of the Uni or Sushi one, or I guess Adam says
Hello.
Adam
Might
says
be.
Coinbase, but
Coinbase?
yeah, you have a little more, but it went all the way down to about $50. It looks like.
What is this? What is this?
Farm.
It's Harvest Finance. That is not LEO. LEO's is Super Farm. The tag is Super.
Polo has a bit more history.
All right.
If I remember right, this is a DeFi protocol that may have started on Binance or it may have been on ETH. I don't remember.
There's
But
versus Bitcoin. It's not a terrible location. Looks like a big honking reversal bar down here. Somebody was interested back here. Wonder what the what was the fundamental story driving this thing back in July?
So supposedly it does the yield farming strategies for you.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so that's automated yield farming is kind of what it looks like.
Right on.
Interesting.
And then versus dollar. Yeah. So whatever got the market excited there. Unfortunately, this might have been just nothing more than just a seasonal rally. I think I remember back in the summer, didn't we have some sort of late rally there? I seem to remember something like that. But I guess, and the DeFi index itself, it's come off quite a bit recently, hasn't it? So, yeah, well, it's kind of, yeah, so there's that midsummer. So it looks like the whole damn market pivoted up there sort of midsummer, right? Well, not a terrible place to be thinking about a bottom.
I still stand by the fact that most of that DeFi perp is a lot of dinosaur ETH DeFi projects that aren't really innovating, and there's not a lot of them in there that I'd even want to buy anymore.
I think this has still got quite a bit of time to clean up here. I wouldn't even be surprised if through the end of the year this is kind of, yeah. Especially that way that time had that big M working there. And Derek's name was kind of like, man, just drifting away. And also, too, Ben's name kind of, I didn't really see any bottoming. In fact, actually, Ben's name kind of looked like this, eh? Sort of, where is it probing against the lows? So I just don't see a heck of a lot to get excited. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when we first started this. You remember when we first started these videos? We were kind of like in this period right here, and it was like, for probably about the first 4 or 5 of these videos, it was just like, man, there's nothing to look at, there's nothing to look at. You remember that?
A heck of a W down there, though.
Yeah, and I remember through the summer, you know, that came in, and we were getting all excited, and then, of course, there was our late summer rally. So the same sort of thing, you know, if you are interested, probably my hunch is something like there, right? Yeah, what a surprise. Reload zone's right against the bottom end of this triangle, which is right against, you know, a regional market structure breakout. That is our Benkoff check right in there. So, it's getting close. So, but still a little bit more to go. And it makes sense, right? What was your name again, Ben? That was the OHM. Right? So we were, I think it was this one. Just waiting. Not really in a huge hurry. Just let this thing find its bottom. Same thing. Derek, your name was Hedera? What is that? HDRA? No.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, if you have a better one that you like better, tell me. It doesn't.
well, it doesn't look better, but no, I don't really. I mean,
how do you spell it? Is it HAD?
H bar HBAR
H bar. Oh, there you go.
no HBAR H bar.
Yeah, there we are. Okay. Ooh, yuck. Well, let's see. Maybe. This one's a little better, right? Yeah, there we go.
A little.
Okay. So same thing. You know, you guys work with me long enough. Does this make sense? Right when we, and actually, yeah, that makes sense, right? Remember April, May, right? Same sort of thing. Ironically enough, actually, this looks almost identical. So we're going through this, and what you want to wait for is show me this, please. So have we got that yet? No. And also, too, have you guys been watching Sjord with his Bollinger Bands? And how when they compress, that gives you a nice little signal there. So my hunch is the band's probably compressed. Yep, you can see how they compress down in here, nice and tight, and the breakout. So really, you can see. And let's do a YouTube quiz. Are the Bollinger Bands compressing right now on this thing?
And I mean, to be fair with this, like, it doesn't really have the tokenomics to sort of, go to $100 a coin. I mean, there's like billions of coins out. So
yeah,
I'm more interested in this because I was involved kind of early, I guess, and this is one of the coins I took flight to get off of Binance. So I rolled up a lot of the other coins into this coin because it was fast and I could get a lot of it out. And this one in Matic, so I have a lot of those, interest in those two projects because it so happened that I grabbed a lot of them. But this, in terms of being a good story, I guess, the story, in my opinion, is decent. But I don't think you're going to ever see, it'd be hard to see $100 H bar. I mean, the market cap would have to be something incredible. I mean, you probably have to, if they ever reached, it had to be like, I don't know, the market cap of probably crypto would have to be something like whatever gold is or something like that for this thing to be like to go off the charts.
All right. Yeah, and remember, I'm here to make money, not waste my time. So don't give me
yeah, I got you.
So one coin that did look interesting for potentially a bot setup was Gala that somebody asked for.
Gala, like that? Gala.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency. What do I want to look at? Versus tethers? Boom.
Nah.
Well,
I mean,
that though.
I mean that's a weekly. If you go to, I was looking at the hourly, and the bot looks okay, but it's just look at it. It looks good. If it's a
well, yeah, you can see there's some sort of consolidation going on here.
It's got on the hourly. It's got your MACD kind of coiling too.
Yeah, but it's never a good idea to fight against these kind of higher time frame kind of.
Yeah, I didn't look at it. I was on the hourly to start with.
I mean, you can, just eyeballing this. This one's really simple. The trading range is probably, this is your bottom down in that window there. You hear me say look left. I mean, really, the last major pivot low is down here.
Yep.
You got a bit of fight down in here, but this was while the sort of circle jerk was still going on, right? We want to know, and actually, I guess this makes sense. This one dumped. Where did it dump? Right into there. So that's, if anything, this is probably the line in the sand right now. But if we lose this level, then the next line in the sand's all the way down here, right? It's a pretty big drop. So, and, if we do start heading back up, at best, you're saying something like that. So really, the way I look at this is, there's your trading range. So, we want to take trades. I mean, anything can happen, right? Anything. I mean, no, this thing, hey, next trade could be at like $10 a coin. You don't know. Anything can happen. But what's the statistical probability? And unfortunately, when I look at something like this is literally a coin toss. Could go up there, could go down there. Total coin toss. So it's, like half of our job is not so much to sort of predict the future, what's going to happen. It's just to try to identify if we're going to take a shot against, on something, can we find something that's at least got the odds in our favor? So when I see something like this, it could go anywhere. I would actually say in the short term, this is what I call, actually you finished this, just this term. Let's see if you can remember this, Nick. What would I call this? We won't hold Ben to this. Actually, it'd be interesting if Derek knows the answer to this.
Can you explain what you're looking at more?
Well, those two lines that I drew there. Well, why would I draw those two lines there? Something's interesting going on there. Moving average. All right, obviously those lines are lining up off the moving averages, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do I call that?
I mean, cross. It's a cross.
No,
Cross.
no crosses there.
I thought you may be anticipating a cross.
Me and my half-shaved face. No, that doesn't. Not ringing any bells. How about a moving average sandwich? Anyway, that will be on the final exam, Nick. So you might want to review that. So, can you see how price is being sort of kept down by this moving average on top here?
Yep.
And you can see how this moving average is acting as support. My hunch is we're just going to bang around in here for a while. That's what I think is probably going to happen. That's why I did that. And then there's going to be some resolution. You're right. It could very easily turn back up here. I suppose, like you said, you're going down to the 1 hour chart, eh? All right. So, interesting too. This is what I would call a MACD momentum coil. Looks like the coil is trying to break to the upside. So, but sometimes what happens with these MACD coils, just be forewarned, is sometimes they like flare up and then they come crashing down. Kind of like you see this here. You see that? So it goes flaring up and then it comes crashing down the other side. Totally sucks. So just be forewarned, right? That looks a lot. It looks like this has got some legs. You know, they're pushing higher. You can see, though, it's kind of backing off a bit. But usually these things move in 4, 8s, 12s, and 16s. So if you counted here from the peak, my hunch is after 4 of these bars, so 1, 2, 3, so one more bar here, then we should probably see either it continues on, and if it does, it's going to blast right through the floor here. But after 4, we should turn back up. 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of idea, and then you find out whether this really is a top, and we come screaming down the other side. Kind of like this here, the exact opposite of that. So notice how it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Then pulled back, and it was really quick. 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then pulls back 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. Breaks through. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Pretty close to 12. So I wouldn't be surprised. 4. A little bit of a pause. Then another 4. Do we bust through the 0 line, etc. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So that's sort of what I often see when these MACD coils do this. This is a bit dangerous. This thing's got to really punch higher here and just almost, it's almost like we used to have a guy on the site who used to always say, like, you go through here and, coming out of the great state of Florida, I suppose this probably is pretty apt. Does it make sense that the market needs to achieve breakout velocity? What do they call that? There's actually a certain speed that you actually have to achieve when they launch your rocket to actually leave Earth's gravity. There's a specific speed. I can't remember what it's called. So anyway, it's like breakout velocity, something like that. And in here you can see the rockets, it's blasted off. There's Ben waving at it. He's waving his American flag. Everybody's all proud. And then all of a sudden, put. Oh, shit. and oh, no, it's turning back down. Ah! And it's a Challenger. No. I remember that. That was a terrible day for USA Inc. I remember that. Poor old astronauts. The school teacher, she went up in flames.
What about the kids that were watching? I was in
I
elementary school
know,
watching
devastating for
that.
them.
I was
Right?
like, what?
Actually, that might have been around. You guys were probably kids around that time.
I was in elementary school watching it. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, so that must have scarred you for like years.
Well, not really, but I remember. I thought it was more. Yeah, not really.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So maybe something you learned tonight. Great Del Moody, I saw him here tonight. What do you think, Great Del Moody? Is that something you've seen me talk about before? I swear that guy's gotten a whole bunch of really cool little tidbits out of these videos. It's great to see you're here so often. So. Terminal velocity is the limit speed in free fall. Yeah. Escape velocity. Yeah, that's what it's called. Escape velocity. There you go. All right. You guys are asking for Shiba. What's Shiba? Do you guys trade Shiba? Shiba. Where should we do Shiba?
Shiba is.
That's like the Dogecoin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it even have a chart? It's probably just like straight up.
No, it has a chart.
There it is. Where would you trade this thing? Binance? Oh, versus Australian dollars?
It'll have some history, at least in Binance, at least through this last pump.
But I can't look at it on Binance versus USD. It's only versus Australian dollars there. Where should we look at this?
Oh, that's because it's actually SHIB. There's no A.
Oh. Silly. Okay, boomer. Do we want to look at it versus Tether?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, there's not much to get excited about here. Interesting. Bull div trying to form here. I heard about a week or so ago somebody really tried to get the pump train going on this thing again, eh? I guess it sort of stalled out. The only problem here is, I guess you, whoever's asking, Tito, you're asking this, where are the rest of the buyers? What do we call this concept? And who can tell me? Is anybody awake here? I'll put away the OBV just to start off, and let's do a volume impetus study. I mean, number one, actually, it looks like everybody's fallen asleep here lately, eh? So the bulls, you can see there they are. They're very active, then a little less active. Then a little less active. Then a little less active. We have a rule at TRI. If you see 3 lower green bars here, this means the bulls are falling asleep. And I would say the bull actually fell asleep when we saw a green bar less than this day here, and that happened very quickly, especially all through here. Complete falling asleepage by the bulls right there. So we can see what date that is, but that's not a good date at all. At the same time, you got the bears. They're in red. That's that bar, that bar, that bar, the day before that bar. You can see that the bears, they've also 1, 2, 3, and we have a bar lower than this bar right here. That's right here, and then more here. So the bears have also fallen asleep. And I would say the bear, actually, I would be comfortable saying the bear looks like it fell asleep right there. So everybody went to sleep. The bear went to sleep there. The bull went to sleep there. And since that point, this thing's just drifting. Nobody's in control of this story. So where's that? That's right here. And what has it done? It's just drifting. So, if you are a bull and you'd really like to see the bulls try and wake up here, please, come back to life. The only question is why? Why would somebody own this? I believe that this was a momentum play to begin with. And, the interesting thing about this is there's, I would say there's probably about a good maybe 25, maybe 50 sort of crypto OG guys that, if they feel like running a story, they can run a story like this. But I think that was past tense. I don't think that this is present tense. You know, trading wise, we have an expression at TRI. Let's see if anybody on YouTube knows this. I'm not going to tell you the expression. Let's see if you know it. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that. So what do you think I'm thinking here when I draw something that looks like that? Tito. Let's see if Great Del Moody knows this. Yeah. Yep, that's right, Ben. So, I mean, interestingly enough, actually, this isn't really... There's not really a hell of a lot surprising here, and what we often say is that you actually can tilt that channel up, and that'll give you roughly this sort of upside target. I don't know whether I did that very well or not. Check, so there is some sort of drawing tool here. I don't know where it is.
It'd be nice if you could draw a circle.
Yeah. Well, there is one I thought that you could draw like sort of like a quarter of a circle. I thought I remember seeing something like that. This feels like deja vu though. We've done this before, haven't we?
I think one time you had talked about it'd be nice if we had a tool like that, but I don't think there's one.
Sorry?
I said I know one time at one point you had talked about it'd be nice if we had a tool that could do that, but
maybe this is it right here. Projection? That might be it. I don't know whether that'll work. Let's see. We go like that. Oh yeah, see, so it's kind of like that. So actually, and I don't know how this works, but something like that, something along those lines. In a weird sort of way, I guess I guess you alter it. I mean, I think what you have to do is somehow square this up. Anyway, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about. Something like that. So the longer the channel, did we actually get it on YouTube? The longer the channel, the bigger the run. Excellent, Adam. Nice, Great Del Moody. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. So actually it does, we turned out we did find it. So so, you know, didn't we look at one earlier and I kind of went, well, you know, this is just a coin toss. It could go up there. It could come down here. I don't know. I mean, are we in the business of just taking sort of random coin toss sort of trades? Is that really in our best interest? Probably not. I mean, I'd like to see bullish divergence. Maybe we get something happening here where this is making lower lows and your indicators may be making higher lows. We're coming into acceptable trade location. The only problem I have with this is that's obviously a support line, but if we lose these, look at it, it's all the way down to here. I mean, really, if you want to buy this thing, I think you just wait for this thing eventually to work its way all the way back down to the bottom. So, not really something that I would even be the slightest bit interested in. Which sucks. Go and find me ideas that look like this. And really, this one was super cool. And, you know, there was a lot of money to be made here. Let's not, you know, like, we don't need to bullshit. There was some serious money to be made here. But who do you think's coming in and trying to buy this now and make this kind of money now after the fact? Do you think it's the smart money? Do you think it's all the crypto OGers coming in here? I don't think so. I think that if we apply, in fact, actually we have this fun setup that we're calling the Kalino. I think that's what we're calling it now, right? Kalino? I don't know whether, have you guys been on the site, me talking about that? Where we're going to try and find a trend line that's been tagged 3 times. So sort of like... Maybe something like that. That one's a little bit odd. Maybe, well, even, yeah. Actually, it's probably something along these lines there. So once, twice, 3 times. Okay, give me a 4 times, 5 times. Give me a W on the other side of the trend line. And you see how you could justify buying that W right there. So go and find me ideas that look like this. Now, somebody did mention a little bit ago about coins that were making new lows. So I love it when you can have that kind of scenario. Oh boy, lots of money being there. Probably good looking momentum signals in here too. Yeah, nice W's. In fact, that was, well, it was a little bit of a div from over there. Really not quite stupid. Be interesting to see what, let's see right there. Yeah, bit of a bull div there in MACD coming off of this bottom. I like that. That wouldn't have been a bad level to keep an eye on. So see if you can try and find these kind of scenarios. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then on the other side of it, W's coming in on the other side of this trend line. Away you go. Kind of cool. All right, so there's your sheep. I don't know whether I'd really do anything here now. It's kind of no man's landy. I suppose you could maybe go, there's a trend line, very steep one working here. Yuck. I suppose, give me some sort of W. It's nothing really solid to work with. Bet you there's probably some people that took this, and if you did and you were trading that, you had to get stopped out there. Interesting how it's just sitting right at that stop out point, just parked. So if you felt like it, maybe me personally, I would kind of think that maybe this is like head and shoulders, something like that, going forward. So let this break out and confirm that div. So that's push up there. Then hunt the reload zone pullback, and ideally you want this to be like a head and shoulders. So you see this is the head, there's the shoulder. You would ideally like, actually it'd be interesting, a month or so to come back and look at this chart. Somebody remind me. Hello. Somebody seems to be at the front door. So keep an eye on that level there. So what I would hope is that this pushes up. That confirms the higher time frame div. Then you get your reload zone pullback. And the reload zone lines up nicely with that head and shoulders level. So something along those lines. And maybe down in there. Probably. And actually that makes sense too. I kind of like that. Later on in the month, probably through the tax loss selling window. And probably coming out into the end of the year. Maybe even into the new year. I could see that. So if there was going to be a trade here, it would probably set up something along those lines. So keep your eyes peeled. But, on balance, would I force an issue here? Nah, this isn't something I'd be interested in. In fact, just to give you an idea of what I have been buying, it's interesting that it's a name Danny was interested in, but I am very interested in something like that. So you can see the W. You can see the big breakout here confirming the W bottom. And I found out about this name probably a couple months ago, and I just started working stink bids. I had a bid at Mountain Man. I had a bid at 78.6 that just got filled in that dump there the other day. And I got one more bid down at the 88.6 here. So that's the kind of name that I would buy, but I buy down markets. This is what I do, right? This is my bread and butter. So that's something that I would buy. Something like this, no. Why? I would much rather be interested down here. So anyway. What time is it? Oh, look at that. Jeez, I've been blabbing away forever. You guys been enjoying yourself tonight?
Yep, have a good time.
Yeah? All right. Obviously, overly enthusiastic.
Somebody was asking about. I think Great Moody was asking for 1 inch earlier. Did we?
1 inch?
One 1 inch BTC.
One is that like one? Like one? Like
Oh
that?
yeah, 1 inch. Yeah.
Like
Although
that?
I don't know. Yeah, probably Binance maybe.
Oh, there's Tether.
Or Tether. Yeah.
Oh, not bad. I mean, I don't know what the fundamentals are on these things. I seem to remember being in this one.
I think that's when we were talking about decentralized. It's a decentralized exchange, but maybe that was his DeFi.
Yeah, so clearly you can see there's a big rigmarole down in here. So that's probably, like guys like Farmer Dave. I don't know whether Farmer Dave hasn't been that active on the site recently, but a year or two ago he was super active. There's your sort of killer buy level. Up she goes, pullback. Probably this is probably like 88.6s off of that range. Yeah, right down in there. Actually, didn't even get to 88.6, but nice pullback, 78.6 against the original bottom. Blah blah blah. Nice bull div here too. So higher lows here on MACD. So there were signs that, hey, this isn't nearly as weak. Of course, Willie stupidly oversold. That's always a great sign. So down in this area, looks like that was a half decent buy. So they ran it back up again. Top end of the range, right into reload short zones. Up against the highs. All these guys that chased this market up, they got released off of the couch. And she had to come back down. So, as it stands right now, that's a pretty good example of a trading range. Top end of the range, boom. Bottom end of the range, I'd say for now, it's not bad. I would say that's probably an important level. Maybe we have to come back and play against these lows here. Maybe. You might see something like that. It's interesting that the dump the other day, it found some buyers against these lows here. So that's kind of good. Probably even a liquidity wash against those lows right there. So, again, this is really a question of, do you know the fundamentals? Do you know what the value of one of these coins is? Is it POW? Is it POS? I can't comment on any of that kind of stuff. Technically, it's in an attractive area. I'm not going to deny that. The fact that this was a V-top meant that it had to be tested. It looks like it was tested, which means that this is a pretty damn well-defined trading range. So what's that? $2-3 on the downside. Could you get a double off here on maybe a test of that candle body high up there up top? Sure. Looks like it. The only problem here is why? Why would you be interested in this thing? Hopefully it's got a pretty compelling reason. Other than that, just looks to me like it's in a range. And if you could find some sort of it has fundamental value at this level because of this, that would be great. Other than that, it's just sort of, this is the kind of thing where this is not a bad example of sort of like little old lady. Maybe throw a buck at it. If it does break out through this whole formation, maybe throw another buck at it on the breakout through the top, and you're risking this huge W. And if that does happen, and it's possible, I mean, a lot of these coins do start out in these ranges, and if it does break out through the top, then we're thinking fog and bomb. Boom. So, this reminds me of Dash. Dash did the same thing. Just sat in this range, back and forth, up and down, and then it broke out, and actually it did our parking garage, which are extensions. And that that is like 3 and 4, and we did things like Amanda's penthouse and stuff like that all the way up top there. So I could see if this range does resolve to the bull side up top here down the road, but obviously that's assuming a bull. Momentum. It's getting oversold, so that's good. Willie was stupid. It's probably not a good place to be a seller here now. You'd like to see this bull div confirm here. That would be nice. And you'd like to see some buyers come back in earnest. So buyers kind of disappeared here after that one event. Be interesting, what was the fundamental event there from October 27th? And what was the follow-through following that fundamental event? Obviously, something important happened.
I think we talked about it. I think it got listed on a Korean exchange.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so sometimes these exchange listings, right, unless they've got serious buying power behind them, that's almost like a buy the rumor, sell the news. And that, to me, looks like that's what that was. So... and all these Koreans here, they're all trapped in this wick up here, and they're desperate to get the hell out of there if they can. So wicks and tails like to be eaten. That's 570. That's easily a double from where we are. You could probably get yourself a risk-free trade. Do you want to just come in and take a shot against the lows? Or do you want to take sort of the chicken shit route and wait for some sort of W, which at least will give you some confirmation that there actually is some sort of floor in here. I like buying 78.6s. And interesting, buy 78.6 is $3. Sell 78.6, $6.50, or more than a double. I don't think that's an accident either. So there's Brian's crazy 78.6 ping pong. In fact, look at that 78.6 ping pong. Boink, and then boink. So do we do another boink? That's this one. And then that would mean we do a boink up to here, if this is the low. And that will be, let's do this one. Boom, there we go. So, yeah, 660. Actually, interesting. That goes 78.6, pretty same. So there's probably some money to be made there. Buy when it snows, sell when it goes. So it's a good time of year to be looking for a bottom. You want to wait for a W to come in maybe through the end of the year, tax loss selling? That's not a bad idea. I think you're heading in a good direction, so I don't fault you. Then if you do make some money on this, you can come and buy the damn course. Because we were joking, somebody on the weekend show was going, dude, just buy the course, dude, don't save yourself a headache, just buy the course. Which I thought was adorable, because this great Del Moody guy, he's been following us for at least a couple years now on YouTube. He's put the time and effort in. He's probably put $2,000 or $3,000 worth of effort in. If you got paid like what, $20-$30 an hour, $3,000 would be what, 100 hours? That'd be, yeah, about 150 hours. So if you figure, if you do like I do two hours, let's say you do me 2 times speed once a week, so that's 50 hours. So that's basically 2 years worth of work. There you go. Or just take the damn course. It's up to you. All right, gentlemen, that's 8 o'clock. Actually, 4 minutes too. Shall we do our great predictions?
Let's do it.
All right. Where did I put that sheet? I guess we just do it here. Good old Brian Books. God, that was so funny. Oh, that was, you know what? That's an excellent question. Thank you for asking that question. And then I love, oh, it's nice to see you, Bob. I saw you out on the golf course over the weekend. Say hi to Tony for me. I thought, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, like every single one. It was so hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go and finish watching that.
Yeah. Well, it was just, it's such a good example.
Or listening to it.
He's part of that world. He's part of that Washington world. He knows exactly how to play the game. He knows exactly the words that you say. And it was funny watching all the kids sort of dancing around behind him, trying to act the way he was acting. Like the little girls are going, "Oh yes, thank you for that question. Oh, I'm so honored that you asked that question." Trying to emulate exactly the way he did it. It was just adorable. Anyway, sorry, blah blah blah. What was the original thing I was going to look up?
The spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Our big guess. All right, let's see what we got here. Sexy sex setup. Oh, hey, I like the sound of that. What do we got here? Indicate. Oh, geez, yeah. Well,
That was you doing. I think that was the broiler chicken show last Sunday.
Okay, so Brian is awesome. Great. That's always good to know. Nick is awesome. Derek sucks. Ben sucks. All right. So what are we gonna do? Where do we go from here? What's the call? We'll start off with Nick because he's clearly the only person who knows what the hell's going on here. What's the call, Nick?
So, someone I listen to a lot likes to say that wicks and tails like to be eaten.
All right.
So that makes me lean bearish one more week. But you know what? I'm gonna do a
That's
0.
a big honking tail down there, isn't it?
I'm just gonna do a 0.
A 0. All right.
So this will be the week.
Go.
We'll be back down to 42,000 next week, but
42. Ouch.
that's where the wick went down to on some exchanges.
Yeah, now that we've done the 50,000 check, I wonder if that was it. But all right, Derek, what do you think's going to happen here?
I'm going 1. Bitcoin can't go lower.
Oh, all right, there you go. Famous last words. So 1, Ben, what's your call?
Yeah, I'm probably feeling the same thing as Nick around that wick. I know Mike Novogratz was mentioning down the 40K level being a last hold support as well. So I can see it doing a little test there, and then so maybe I'll go a 0 as well.
A 0, but 0 means that it's going to be 50 G's.
I'll go -1 then. -1 then.
I was gonna say if you think 42 G's, that's a -2, my friend.
Yeah. Well, so
okay.
Well, but we don't need to put words in his mouth.
Well, I don't know if it will be there next week or if it's just gonna go down there and bump up a little bit. But yeah, I'll put it.
All right,
-1.
so pretty cautious tone from the group. Mind you, Derek is feeling pretty uppy. And if anything, I think Nick's vote is... That'd be interesting if you were looking for the market to go up by voting 0, or voting -1. What does it mean that you're looking for if the market, if you're voting 0?
I don't see a ton of catalysts through the end of the year. I see a lot of crabbing sideways, so that's where my gut actually says we go.
All right. Let's see. So it's often nice, the whole broken clock kind of thing. Everything though says to me that this market wants to go up, which is kind of weird. So I don't know. Call me crazy. Crazy. Now where the hell do I have those other charts? They're gone. Not there. Not there. Not there. That's over there. Oh, isn't that bizarre? Oh, here it is over here. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, what the hell do I think is going to happen with the corn? A Bitcoin! Sometimes if I sing the Bitcoin song to myself, it helps my brain. Sometimes, not often. Okay, let's do one of these. Jesus, 89. So we're off $890 here right now, eh? I think that's even quite a bit less than what we started the show. Jeez, this thing must have come off quite a bit. Didn't you say it was above 50 G's when we started this?
Yep, it was 50,200.
So I'm supposed to make some sort of grand prediction as to what the hell's going to happen 1 week from now, eh? You guys are so cash at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that was last Wednesday right there. December 2nd. that sound about right? December 1st. Yes, that was right there. All right, kaboosh. Then we come off. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it almost looks to me like if we go on, let's see, we'll do one of these sine waves. Where the hell is it? Oh, not there. Not there. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Here we are. Let's go. Yeah, we'll do a sine wave. We'll go something like that. So, there. Well, I'll do a simple one. We'll go there. So there. That looks like kind of a pivot, eh? That looks like a bit of a pivot. Maybe something like that. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, that's close. Okay, so next Wednesday, we should be on a bit of an upswing. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with a big... thing is, I think we're just going to oscillate around this 50 Gs for a while. So, I don't know what you say. I mean, it's 49. Do I give a plus now? Or do I just put a 0?
If you think it's going to be around 50, you absolutely would put a 0.
All right. I would. And where the hell did I put that damn page? Oh, here it is. All right, so all that, I'm going to go with the big goose egg. All right, that was fun. All right, so we've made our grand predictions. I guess everybody can sleep well at night. You know exactly what's going to happen, sort of. 1 up, 1 down, 2 sideways. And we have to look back in January at SHIB. That's good.
I figured I might as well start just taking notes when you say stuff like that.
Sure. If it's one thing I love, it's I'll do this squiggly line theory, and then I love to go back like a month or two later and see what actually happened, right? And surprisingly enough, man, I'm more often right than I am wrong. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right, gentlemen. Actually, it's interesting. We just had a big celestial event here today. And theoretically, this should be a risk-on vote. So we'll see what happens here. If this thing goes and M's out here, we might see the whole risk market just jump higher. So that means Mr. 1 is going to be right. Who's that? Derek. All right, Derek. My hunch is I think you're going to be right next week. We'll see how it goes. All right, so hopefully I've started a new male fashion fad. I don't know. What do you think? Have I? I see one gentleman did a face palm, so that can't be a good sign.
The risk on, risk off face.
Yeah. So I didn't get the warmest reception of my what will we call it? We'll call it follicle landscaping, something along those lines. So I'm not going to show you guys. Everybody's going to have to tune into the Daily Brief tomorrow morning to say, "Oh, I'm not on, am I?" Oh, you know what? Actually, I wanted to keep it for Liam. So that means I'm going to have to keep this face for the next day and a half. Oh, my. Anybody in the lower mainland, see if you can get a picture of me. That would be a fun. Larry. I know Larry. He lurks around the house here. Outside. He lives locally in the lower mainland. But anyway, so you're going to have to tune in. God, I guess the next time I talk to you guys is Friday morning, right? So let's see if I kept it for Friday. What a challenge, eh? Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could keep this? Everybody on YouTube's like, what the hell is he talking about? Anyway, it's a secret. So you're going to have to tune in Friday morning to find out what the hell I'm talking about. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your indulgence tonight. Sure hope you enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, we're trying to... the whole reason why we did this show to begin with was... we were trying to raise funds to do a little decentral land booth I think we got about $150 worth of donations, so I really appreciate it, everybody. I have, for whatever it's worth, if you did get some edutainment out of this, and you'd like to participate, I have included our ETH wallet address here in the description of this video. So, hey, if you want to throw us a couple bucks, we'd appreciate it. We really do want to buy that plot of land in Decentraland, so we can have these videos basically running 24/7. You can watch them at your leisure, just on sort of an endless loop. I think that would be so cool. So anyway, that's the plan going forward. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your assistance tonight. Always great to check in with you guys. Not quite sure how to take us on out of here other than, great job. We'll see everybody on the site. And, of course, wish me luck with Liam. Believe it or not, your guys' positive karma, it really does make a big difference. So I'll be with him tomorrow afternoon. So karmically, about halfway through your day tomorrow, just stop and go, God, can you give Brian and JoJo and Liam a break today and let Liam have a good day? And then everybody gets through in one piece. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. Have yourselves a great night. Who should do the honors? Who hasn't done a bye for now in a while? Have we done an Aussie bye for now? Or maybe it looks like Derek. I think Derek's chomping at the bit.
I haven't done one in a while.
All right.
I'll do it.
So I think the great state of Maryland's going to take us out tonight. So have yourselves a great night, everybody. All the best. Derek, if you could take us on out of here, the only thing left for us to say is...
Bye for now.